That's what it says, yes, sir. Isn't happy hour anytime? I don't recall being drunk.
All rise and like, subscribe, and bang the gavel, baby. Order in the court. Who's calling for the big bish already this morning? I can't believe it. I'm here. I'm with you guys, but yet I'm unloved. I can't believe this. What is going on, everybody? It is a beautiful Saturday. If you're not loving life right now, you're probably at work. So just hang in there. Just wait a little bit. It'll get better. I promise. Good to see everybody. Fred Franklin, I will go for Sergeant the Buzzkill. Bigfoot? Bigfoot likes fish tanks? Well, Bigfoot. There you go. The biggest fish tank of them all. The ocean. Drink it in, man. Drink it in. We're going to be checking out some first appearances that happened this morning. We're also going to try and catch some live. But in between all that, after we get done with this first one with Judge William Crawford, we'll check out some stuff that we missed yesterday. So we're going to do like kind of a mix of things. I'm going to try and do my best to keep up with you guys and say hello. And we'll talk about what's going on. Let's go ahead and just jump right on into it, and we'll go from there. Tiff, good to see you.
Before Judge Odette, you'd like to be heard as bail.
Yes, Your Honor. He indicates to me that he's only resided in Genesee County about 3 or 4 months. He does live in a shelter, as I've indicated. He's not on probation or parole. Indicates he has a couple of matters. It sounds like misdemeanors out of Louisiana is what he told me, but no other misdemeanors.
Just misdemeanors in Louisiana.
The incident, my understanding, Your Honor, he indicates that my understanding from the reading of this arises out of a trespass on General Motors property. I'd ask the court to consider a personal recognizance bond for Mr. Edwards. He indicates he will make his court dates.
Good to see you, Jay.
Michael York. History looks like there may be some issues that are taking place, whether health related or drug related. Bond will be set amount of $10,000 forecast as surety.
$10,000 on a trespass?
Your lawyer on May 26th, 11 o'clock. You're all set.
That public defender.
So I leave today. I leave today. I stay.
$1,000.
I have a feeling you're staying if you're homeless and you need 1,000 bones of your 10,000 bond. You might be staying the night.
You're all set, Mr. Edwards.
Mr. Edwards.
The deputy will give you your paperwork.
All right, thank you. I can go?
Yeah, you can go.
Yeah. All right, thank you.
They said I could leave. Let me out of here.
Just take its own walk. Versus Jacob Quentin Heath Bill, case number 22-20.
By the way, this is the same courthouse that our own Judge Herman is in. Yeah, that guy looked really weird. He's like, I don't know about him. Oh, dear, indeed. Hey, if you would do us a favor, like this video while we're waiting for the next client to show up. Hopefully everybody had a good time last night. We covered 2 chases that were say the least. You know what? We tried. We had a good time. Very good time hanging out with everybody. Pookie is getting sprung as we speak. I'm sure someone showed up with the $1,000 he needed. Oh, look at this guy. He's getting puffy. Look at his hair. Wow. He went to the Bishop School of Broadcasting and Impatience.
Will you be calling for the next one, sir? Or do you want me to send one in?
Jacob Beal?
Is that a
Yes, sir.
guy's first day on the job? He has no idea what the hell we're doing here? Great. This is going to be an awesome courtroom. Disorder in the court already. Just send in anybody. We'll figure out who it is. Just surprise us. Judge likes surprises. What happened to the dude who was towing?
Say your name, please.
I know. I would
Jacob
like to
Beal?
know too. Whoa, Jacob!
You
Put
have
some
before
clothes.
the court today on 2 charges of criminal sexual conduct in the first degree and a charge of aggravated indecent exposure on the dates of between January 2014 and January 2016 in Atlas Township. Counsel.
Yes, Your Honor, Kevin Rush appearing on behalf of Mr. Beal. I had gone through the trial rights this morning as well as the rights to a preliminary examination. Mr. Szabo then interviewed Mr. Beal. It's my understanding that Mr. Beal understands what his rights are, trial rights, as well as the rights to a preliminary examination, and what the charges are and potential punishment, as well as the notices, and is waiving any further reading of that. Your Honor, he was extradited here from the state of Colorado, so he is not employed, so he is requesting court-appointed counsel.
And he's needs some clothes, for God's sake.
Attorney to represent the defendant in this matter and schedule this matter for a pretrial conference on May 26th at 11 o'clock before Judge Hammond. Bail.
Your Honor, obviously the dates are old somewhat on this case. I understand that may not matter. However, it was authorized, it looks like, in 2022, only about a month ago. He is actually has some college at Kellogg University in Battle Creek. He has a possession of meth, it looks like, in Colorado, but that's the extent of his record. He has no probation, not on probation and not on parole.
Yeah.
Understanding the nature of the charges, we would ask the court to set a reasonable bond.
Court will set a bond amount of $25,000 full cash and surety. Bill, if you post that bond, you're not to leave the state. Do you understand?
Yes.
You will meet with your lawyer on May 26th at 11 o'clock. You all set?
How much was it?
25.
Okay. Thank you.
25.
If you could leave the door open so the deputy can hear the next case.
Morning, Sarge.
So much for that.
It's getting
Versus Octavius Jamal Gibbs, case number 21-2805.
So
Gibbs.
much for that. Morning. At least this guy's got clothes on. Yeah.
Morning.
Morning.
Good morning.
State your name, please.
Datavius Gibbs.
State your name.
Datavius Gibbs.
This courtroom is a shit show. $2? Okay.
Can y'all hear me?
Yes.
Okay.
How about you tell me you can hear me then? Oh, by the way, Lori, why are you sad over there on the Facebook? No need to be sad. You're right here. Why are you sad? You give us a sad face today. Is everything all right? Is it because of the hepatitis? Who's got hepatitis? Why did hepatitis come out of here? This courtroom is in a bad way. Real bad way. Indecent exposure. I guess they felt like, you know what? You're here for indecent exposure. Let's see what you got. Oh, yeah. He's coming in dressed to impress. This guy's getting so mad The public defender is just so pissed that this is taking longer than it should. He is ready to hit the links. He's pissed off. Delcia, good to see you.
Gibbs, you are before the court today on the charge of assault with intent to murder, felony firearm charges, gang membership felonies in the city of Flint on September 4th, 2021.
Attempted murder.
Counsel.
Yes, Your Honor. Kevin Rush appearing on behalf of Mr. Gibbs. I'd gone through the trial rights this morning as well as the rights to a preliminary examination. Within 21 days, Mr. Szabo had then interviewed Mr. Gibbs and read the charges to him, including the potential punishment on each of the counts. It's my understanding he indicates that he understands his rights and the rights to an exam, what the charges are and punishment, is waiving any further reading of that. Your Honor, he's indicated that he's self-employed. He has his own clothing line that he just started, though. It's just new. So he is requesting court-appointed counsel.
New job.
Although at this time, he's indicated that the family might be hiring attorney Michael Ewing, but I don't think that's been done just yet. So at this time, we would ask for court-appointed counsel, understanding the charges.
Terminator.
For what appointed attorney to represent
This fix the
Scheduled
judge's
matters for
mic.
Pretrial conference on May 26th at 8:30 before Judge Nguyen.
So
Yeah.
attempted
Your
murder.
Honor, the address is correct. He resides with his mother. He's been there for over 20 years. He's not on probation and not on parole. Doesn't indicate that there's any prior record here. Understanding obviously the nature of the charges, we would ask the court to grant a reasonable bond in the matter.
Okay, just making sure. Just making sure. Why don't you walk around looking like this dude? I wish I could go outside and play, but I gotta work.
The defendant is allegedly on videotape shooting an AK-47 and hitting somebody. Maximum penalty, life imprisonment, bond and set amount of $50,000, full cash security.
Thank you, Judge.
On May 26th at 8:30, Gibbs, you all set?
I can't hear you.
Meet with your lawyer at 8:30 on May 26th.
So I have a bond?
Mm-hmm. 50,000.
$50,000, full cash security.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Will he make the
Have a good one.
50 grand?
Also.
Don't let that door close.
Nope. I gotta give them 50. Just can't.
Is she gonna cut it off? Is that it? What is she doing? She's trying to tune in her shows? What is she doing? She looks like she might be the next one to sneak somebody out of the jail.
People
Yeah,
of the
you-
state of Michigan versus Jordan Tobias. Case number 13-662.
Come on, Tobias. Pop squat. Bring it on in. Zoom court, guys. Share, like, you know, the whole deal. Yada, yada, yada. It's Saturday.
State your name, please.
Seth the Green falling on hard times.
Your name.
Tobias, you are before the court today on a charge of possession of methamphetamine, second offense,
Uh-oh.
and
Yes, sir.
possession of hydrocodone, second offense, in the city of Burton on May 5th, 2013. Counsel.
Yes, Your Honor. Kevin Rush appearing on behalf of Mr. Tobias. I'd gone through the trial rights this morning as well as the rights to a preliminary examination within 21 days. Mr. Szabo then interviewed Mr. Tobias and went through the charges, including the second subsequent notices and potential punishment and fine. It's my understanding he understands his rights to a preliminary examination, what the charges are and punishment, and is waiving any further reading of that. Your Honor, he works at Diamond Shield He's a concrete polisher where he's been for 6.5 years, but he makes about $31 an hour.
Ooh.
We've
can afford the med.
indicated to him that it's unlikely the court would grant court-appointed counsel. So he's indicated that he will retain counsel.
Court will schedule this matter for pretrial conference on May 26th at
A
1 o'clock
concrete
before
polisher.
Judge Goggins. Bail.
Yes, Your Honor. My understanding is the address has changed. His address is now 960 Johnson Avenue in Flint, 48532.
Let's go visit him, guys.
He's essentially lived his whole life in Genesee County. He does work, as I just indicated, but he's not on probation. He's not on parole. Has some prior drug convictions out of Alabama, but I would note that this incident is from 2013. And what he indicates is that since that incident, he actually went to drug court and was successful in Alabama in 2016 and graduated successfully from their drug court. I'd ask the court to take that into consideration and grant him a personal recognizance bond. It sounds like he's addressed his issues, and this is a little bit old of a case. So,
Many thanks. Over there on the Facebooks. $31. That's good damn money, man.
Why?
I don't know
You
why.
never came down to court to take care of this.
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you.
How come you never came down to court to take care of this?
I was pretty much just not
Polishing concrete.
smart
doing
enough to know how to go through it, because when I did get on drug court, I was trying to transfer it from Alabama to Michigan, and they said they wouldn't accept it. So I just assumed that it was over. I mean, I never got court papers
That's not good, Flusha.
Where you work?
at Diamond Shield.
What do you do there?
I'm
He's a
a project
polisher.
manager for concrete polishing.
Oh, he's the head guy.
Concrete polishing?
Yes, sir. I cut the concrete to where it make it look like glass.
Oh, okay.
This judge is like out of it. I think he's on meth. Allegedly. People have polished way worse things than concrete for way less than $31 an hour.
How'd you get us to be down here today?
I was actually going to pick my brother-in-law up to come and hang out with my sister and I and my fiance. I just got my new rental yesterday, and so I was going to pick him up.
a traffic stop, right?
Yeah, it was for bad.
Bad luck.
All right.
Any new charges?
What was that?
Any new charges?
No. No new charges.
Do you have any new charges arising out of the traffic stop or anything else pending?
No, sir.
Okay.
No.
The
All right, I'm going to
public
release
defender's
your
like an
personal
angry dad.
recognizance bond, Tobias. If you do not have to post any money to go home today, make sure that you show up on time for your court date on May 26th, 1 o'clock. Tobias, do not show up without an attorney. Do you understand?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I do.
All right. Okay, you're all set.
All done.
All right. Thank you, fellas.
Thanks, fellas. Y'all have a great weekend. Terminator, completely off the record. What in the world is the group in your husband's Discord that I got invited to that I wandered into?
Blake Ellie Westerby, case number 18, that's
Completely
81. Westerby.
unprepared for what I saw. I mean, Traffic stops. Those get us all, don't they? 1 minute we're riding around with meth in our pocket. Next thing you know, we're sitting behind bars. Not polishing jack crap. There was some polishing going on in that Discord group, though.
State your name, please.
Blake Westerby.
Westerby, you are before the court today on a charge of possessing of clonazepam in the city of Burton on May 25th, 2017.
Chirazepam?
Yes, Your Honor, Kevin Rush appearing on behalf of Mr. Westerby. I'd gone through the trial rights this morning as well as the rights to a preliminary examination, and Mr. Szabo interviewed Mr. Westerby. It's my understanding he's indicated that he understands what his rights are, trial rights, as well as what the charges are, I should say, and potential punishment. He's waiving any further reading of that. Your Honor, he's indicated at this time that he is employed. He's employed at McDonald's. He's making only $11 an hour. So we would be requesting court-appointed counsel.
Just saying.
Will appoint an attorney to represent the defendant in this matter and schedule this matter for a pretrial conference on May 26th at 11 o'clock. There, before Judge Haley.
Yes, Your Honor. The address is correct. He resides with his grandmother. He's lived in Genesee County for over 25 years. He's 32 years old, so essentially his whole life. He's not on probation and he's not on parole. Does have some prior drug cases. They appear to be old. I can only note that this incident was from 2017. And again, he's indicated that in 2020, he was at Odyssey House for 5 months. He is open to treatment. It sounds like he's been dealing with, since this incident, getting the proper help. I'd ask the court to grant him a personal recognizance bond.
Ed, it's Saturday. Come and go as you please.
I'm sorry, I could barely understand what you said, sir.
That's all of us.
No, it's
Sorry.
like garbled up there. I can hear it feeding back. How come you never came down to take care of this matter?
Because of my past drug addictions, and I was just being stupid about it, honestly. I mean, within the last couple years, I've really started to try to do better in my life and like get this stuff to stop following me around.
So how did you get ready to be here today?
In Burton, I honestly don't remember.
Oh,
how you got arrested today? How did you get into the jail?
I wasn't arrested. Somebody had at a Rite Aid I was at, which was across from where I work. They see me come in there all the time, and she said that I had looked like sad and off, which I was, and I had been crying about previous like people in my family have committed suicide around. I went to go into the bathroom. I was crying very loud in a Rite Aid bathroom. I didn't want people to see me, and she called the police for a welfare check, and they showed up.
Okay. Okay.
I
All right. Okay.
Okay.
No new charges?
No.
You still doing drugs?
I have, yes, I'm not addicted to opiates like I was, but I have slipped up a couple times, honestly, yes.
All right. Well, since you've been honest about it, I'm going to go ahead and give you a personal recognizance bond. You're not gonna have to post your money and go home today, but you
Thank you.
you gotta get it together. Because if you do something and you get picked up with drugs, or if you get high and oversleep and miss your court date, then you can be down in jail on the high bond. And I got a feeling you don't want to be down there, right?
That's him crying in the Rite Aid bathroom.
Well, I guess I can't say anything.
Just say no.
No.
8:36.
No.
8:26 at 11 o'clock. Judge Haley.
Thank you, Judge.
You know what's wrong.
Thank you.
Play innocent with me. Freak nasty. I'm gonna call Fred Franklin.
You can
Freak
go.
Franklin. Freak Franklin.
Oh,
Things is getting wild when it's just Yeah, don't never cry in the bathroom. I mean, pick better place. Pick your sobbing spots way better than the Rite Aid bathroom. That'll get you in jail, guys. We've learned something really big today. You go into a public place, you start crying. Next thing you know, they put
People of
you in
the state
jail.
of Michigan versus Jalen Jawan Wiley, case number 22-882, Wiley.
He now just does it for fun, Sharon. Tell Rick I said hey, by the way. What? Flusha? Yeah, this is the first thing he's doing. Top tier in things he's going to do today. 1, walk out of jail without paying a bond. 2, stop crying in the Rite Aid bathroom.
Wiley, you are before the court today in charge of carrying a concealed weapon, improper possession of a firearm in a motor vehicle.
PPU in the car.
And the city of Flint on December 14th, 2021. Council.
Of course, you didn't want
Yes,
to
Your
be
Honor,
buck
Kevin
rats,
Rush
but-
appearing on behalf of Mr. Wiley. I had gone through the trial rights with him as well as the rights to a
Pronounced Whaley.
preliminary examination and read the charges to him, which he has heard before. This is a reissue, Judge. It's my understanding
They
that
do.
he's indicated that he understands his rights. He understands what the charges are and is waiving any further reading of that. Your
don't
Honor,
have-
he's got a pretty good job. He makes $25 an hour. He works for a company called Wyman Gordon, where he's a technician. He gets about 40 hours a week. We can ask for court-appointed counsel. I've advised him that
Can
the
it,
court
Fred?
may not grant that, or if the court would grant it, put it on a protective order.
Yeah, Rebecca, by the way, they have court.
For a pretrial conference.
It's all first appearance stuff.
26th
No
at
like trials,
8:30.
just first appearances,
Yeah.
giving people bonds here.
Yes, Your Honor. As I've indicated, this is a reissue. It's my understanding that it looks like anyways, this case was dismissed at a preliminary examination. It looks like probably failure of witnesses to appear. And he was on bond at the time. And he's indicated that he made all of his court dates. He indicates to me it looks like around January that this was dismissed. Looks like it was reissued here sometime early April. He's not on probation, not on parole. Indicates he has no prior misdemeanors or felonies. I'd ask the court to take that all in consideration,
PPU,
considering
that's
that he did make his court dates and he has no prior record. I'd ask the court now to grant him a personal recognizance bond, as he was on bond at the time before the reissue.
All right, guys, hold on. We're going to jump real quick because we have some court happening live right this second. So we're going to jump over there.
You know what?
So everybody just hold up
Right,
one hot second. Boom. We're going to do that. Look at those fish. Aren't they beautiful? Makes me want to go fishing. Fishing. All right. Thank you, Creed. Everybody thank Creed. He said, hey, Mikey, they live over here right now. Go there and see what they doing. And I said, all right. Wow, they got a lot of people. A lot of people to see. Look at this bunch. They are a packed house over here. I pushed it back just a little bit so we could catch up with what's going on.
Okay,
Judge?
good morning, everybody. Can everybody hear me?
I thought that was a Werman.
Okay. All right, thank you. This is going to be the first appearances calendar for May the 14th, 2022. I'm Judge John Parker from the Magistrate Court of Clayton County. Today's hearing is not a trial of your case. If you're charged with a felony, that trial will be scheduled in Superior Court. If you're charged with the misdemeanors only, that trial will be scheduled in state court. For today, what I'm going to do is 4 things for you. The first is I'm going to inform you of your constitutional rights. The second thing I'm going to do is read you your charges and determine whether you are eligible today for a bail bond. The third is I'll schedule a preliminary hearing unless you waive the right to a preliminary hearing. And the fourth thing is I'll ask you whether you want me to determine whether you are qualified for a court-appointed attorney. Now, let me start by explaining your rights. You have the right to remain silent and say nothing. Should you give up this?
By the way, this is live at this moment. I pushed it back a little bit, so I'm hoping we'll be able to watch the entire thing without it cutting off. But if it does cut off, it's because they cut off the live feed and deleted it. Hopefully that will not happen. We're going to give it a chance. We're going to see what happens. But yeah, we're in the great state, the greatest state of them all. You guess where it's at. Great state. Let's go.
You have the right to a speedy and public trial by jury. You have the right to see, hear, and question witnesses who are called to testify against you, and the right to compel the attendance of witnesses on your own behalf by subpoena. You have the right to testify and offer other evidence in your defense if you choose to do so. But should you choose not to do so, no presumption of guilt may be raised against you. You have the right to have an attorney represent you. If you request a court-appointed attorney and qualify for one, I will approve that request today. Now let's talk about bail bonds. If you qualify for a bond, you can be released from jail during the prosecution of your case. Those bonds may be cash, commercial bonds, or property bonds. If you post a cash bond, someone will deliver the full amount of the bond in cash along with the applicable mandated fees to the sheriff's office. The sheriff's office will hold it until your final court date and then return it to the person who posted the bond.
I'm glad I'm not
alone. If you use a commercial bonding company that is approved by the sheriff, someone will have to pay the company up to 15% of the total bond as a fee for their service. That fee will not be returned. Someone may post a bond using their property if they have a net equity in the property.
My grandma did that one time. Get my cousin out of jail.
3 times the total amount of your bond. Now, some of you will be given special conditions on your bond that prohibit you from contact with certain people or certain places. I will advise you of these conditions and they will be provided to you on a separate form.
He looked like a man.
You will be prohibited from having any contact with an alleged victim while you are in jail. Now, please listen very carefully. We take these bond conditions very seriously. Should you violate any special condition on the court's order, your bond will be revoked and you will not be entitled to another bond while you are awaiting trial. You could also face additional charges of aggravated stalking, influence of a witness, and other charges, and could face sentence for these additional charges of up to 10 years in prison and fined up to $20,000.
Is the judge wearing headphones to hold the wig on?
If a family member is assisting you in posting your bond, they will be provided information on your bond amount after today's hearing. If that family member is an alleged victim on the warrant and there is a special condition that you are not to have contact with that family member, then that family member will not be allowed to post a bond for you. Some of you may not be eligible for bond today. This court is not authorized to set bond for certain offenses. In those cases, a bond hearing will be scheduled in the Superior Court. If you're currently on active probation, this court is not authorized to set a bond. Your bond can be reconsidered after your probation officer has an opportunity to determine if they wish to file a warrant for violation of your probation, usually.
So young he's not shaven or hit puberty yet.
Now let's talk about preliminary hearings.
We're in Georgia.
I will schedule you for a preliminary hearing today. The purpose of a preliminary hearing is to determine if there is enough evidence or probable cause to justify keeping you detained until your case goes to trial. For those of you who are charged with misdemeanors only, listen carefully. You will have the option to waive the right to a preliminary hearing.
I jump ahead a little bit. This judge is just like killing me with all this yakety smackety. All right, let's get our first contestant. Come on up, sweet cheeks. I gotta remember and to remind people.
Okay, good morning. Can you state your full name for me?
Rona Adiri.
What's your gamer tag? Looking for people to play a little Call of Duty later on.
Okay, you have one charge, that is obstruction of an officer. That is a felony charge and has a bond of $7,000. I have scheduled you for a preliminary hearing to take place on June the 1st at 8:30 a.m. That hearing will be held on Zoom, just like this. I've also received an application for a court-appointed attorney. Do you want me to consider that for you today? Okay.
Not a very manly color, but I have a feeling this lady is.
Okay. I find that
Nice.
you do qualify for a court-appointed attorney, and I will put in the order today to have one
Oh,
appointed
he's
to
just a head.
represent you. Okay. Thank you very much, ma'am.
No, like, hey, where do you work? She was cute. I don't know what this looks like, but this was great. This one, I thought she had like that really. Oh, there he is. Just
Okay. Good morning. Can you state your name for me?
Octavia Jones.
Okay. Give me just a moment.
Him and Niner shared a bottle of dye one time, and it just didn't work out good for any of them.
Okay. Can you say it one more time for me?
Shantavia Jones.
Octavia Jones. Okay.
Mrs. Jones. I'm surprised they got those cloth masks like that. Those are
Hang on
expensive.
just a moment.
Suppose they're not just a box of disposables. Bring your diaper to work today. Magenta? Yeah. I can see it. I had my goatee dyed that color one time. Magenta.
Okay, Ms. Jones, you have two charges. The first one is battery family violence. That has a bond amount of $3,000. The second charge is cruelty to children in the first degree. That's a felony charge that has a bond of $7,000. So that brings your total bond to $10,000. If you bond out, you are to stay away and have no contact with Cameron Jones until the judge orders otherwise or until your case comes to an end.
Cameron Jones got his ass beat by this.
I have scheduled you for a preliminary hearing that will take place on June the 1st at 8:30 a.m. That will take place on Zoom, just like this. And on your application for a court-appointed attorney, it's written that you're refusing. Are you going to hire your own attorney in your case?
No, I kind of want to get one. I want to redo it.
You signed a paper.
You do
wrong.
want to apply for a court-appointed attorney?
Yes.
All right. Deputies, could you have her refill out that application? Do you guys still have her application there?
She filled it out wrong.
Sir, it's an intake. You give her a blank one to fill out.
Okay, yeah, if you could give her a blank one and fill that out and send it to me. Ms. Jones, do you currently work?
Yes.
How much do you earn per month?
Like 2,000.
2,000?
Okay, do you have children?
Is that what?
Yes.
How many children do you have?
3.
Dub.
Okay. Have you ever served in the military?
No.
Special forces.
All right. I'm going to find today that you do qualify for a court-appointed attorney, and I will appoint one to represent you. I just need you to fill out the application with all of your information so that when it gets transferred to your attorney, they know how to contact you. There, okay?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you very much.
You beat on your old man all you want, but don't be beating on insurance. Magenta, Jacob, is the word of the day. Magenta. Youngest judge
Okay, can you
ever
state your name
elected.
for me, ma'am?
Jenkins, Talia.
What?
All right, Miss Jenkins.
Jenkins. Okay. Gotcha.
Ms. Jenkins, you have one charge, and that's providing a false name, address, or date of birth. That's a misdemeanor offense and has a bond amount of $2,000. I can schedule you for a preliminary hearing, or if you would like to waive the right to a preliminary hearing, you can do that today. Do you want me to schedule a hearing, or do you want to waive the right to a preliminary hearing?
She don't know.
You can schedule it.
I'm sorry, I didn't understand you.
You can schedule it.
I still didn't understand you, ma'am.
I said you can schedule the hearing.
Schedule, okay. All right, I'm going to schedule you for a preliminary hearing on May the 31st at 8:30 a.m. That hearing will take place on Zoom, just like this. I have received an application for a court-appointed attorney. Do you want me to see if you qualify for one?
Yeah.
She's really.
You ain't got
annoying.
nothing before that?
No, ma'am.
You ain't got no appointments before that.
Okay,
Come
I
on,
find
man.
that you do qualify for a court-appointed attorney, and I will put the order in today to have one appointed to represent you.
Marlo.
Okay, thank you very much, ma'am.
She was not happy. Looked like somebody just woke her up, and she was just mad as hell about it. Pull that mask down so everybody can hear you.
Okay, can you state your full name for me?
Latrice Jean-Baptiste.
Okay.
Latrice.
All right, Ms. John Baptiste, you have one charge. That's a simple battery charge.
Young buck.
It's a misdemeanor offense and has a bond of $4,000. You have some special conditions that will be on your bond. If you do bond out, you are to stay away and have no contact with Malika Jean-Baptiste and not to return to the location at 12185 Centera Drive, Hampton, Georgia. And those conditions will apply until your case is over or until a judge modifies your bond later. If you do have personal items at that address that you would need to retrieve,
they'll
then
give you a
within
call.
10 days of your
Everybody
release from jail, you can contact the sheriff's office and they will schedule a time for you to go to the location and retrieve your personal items. All right. This is a misdemeanor offense. Would you like me to schedule a preliminary hearing, or do you want to waive the right to a preliminary hearing?
I want to waive it.
Okay. All right. I'll indicate here that you're waiving the right to a preliminary hearing, and the deputies will have a form that you'll need to sign in a few minutes. And I also received on your application for a court-appointed attorney, it's written that you're refusing.
Good to see you, Glenn.
Are you going to hire your own lawyer?
Nope.
Yes.
Okay. All right. I'll indicate here that you're hiring your own attorney to represent you. All right. Thank you very much, ma'am.
Oh, wrong way.
Okay. Can you state your full name for me, ma'am?
Kitchen.
Okay, Miss Kitchens. Okay, Miss Kitchens, you have one charge. That's simple battery. That is a misdemeanor offense and has a bond of $2,500. There will be a special condition on your bond that if you do bond out, you're to stay away and have no contact with Aaron Berry. I can schedule you for a preliminary hearing, or if you want to waive the right to a preliminary hearing, we can do that today. Which one would you like?
We can go ahead and schedule it.
Okay. All right. I'm going to put you down for preliminary hearing on May the 31st.
I think they have no idea why he's asking.
At 8:30 a.m.
So they all just say what the
that
person
hearing will
before-
take place on
before
Zoom,
them said,
just
so.
like this. If you bond out in the meantime, the hearing would automatically be canceled and you would receive your next court date in the mail. I have received an application for a court-appointed attorney. Would you like me to see if you qualify for one?
Yes, please.
Okay.
Hi, Sherry.
Okay, I find that you do qualify for a court-appointed attorney, and I will put the order in today to have one appointed to represent you. Okay, thank you very much, ma'am.
A lot of people like to fight on Friday nights, I think. There's a lot. Oh, she beat somebody up, I can tell already, just by that look on her face.
Okay, good morning. Can you state your full name for me? Okay.
Very friendly judge, though. I will say that.
Okay, Mr. Shakur, you have one charge, that's criminal trespass. And it's a misdemeanor offense. That has a bond of $2,500. If you bond out, you are to stay away from the location. It's 6001 Trammell Road in Morrow. Is that your residence, ma'am?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I'll indicate here that if you have personal items that you need to
Don't go
retrieve
back
from
to
that
your own
address,
personal
in the
address.
meantime,
Mavis.
that you can contact the sheriff's office within 10 days of your release. And you'll be able to go to the address. They'll schedule a time for you to go to the address and get your items that you need. This is a misdemeanor offense. I can schedule you for a preliminary hearing, or you can waive the right to a preliminary hearing. Which one would you like to do? Okay. All right. I'll indicate here that you're waiving the right to a preliminary hearing.
Finally, somebody knew what they were doing.
And I have received an application for a court-appointed attorney. Do you want me to see if you qualify for one today?
Oof.
Okay.
Oh, my goodness.
All right. So I see on your application, you do have a job. How much do you earn each month in that job?
I get paid every week, so I get paid $15 an hour.
What is
Okay.
she?
How many hours a week do you generally work?
40.
Oh, good for her. 40 hours. I think so.
Okay.
Oh, Davy.
Do you have any children?
No.
Okay.
This is my biggest regret. Is she crying, or is that just the way she sounds?
Okay. I find that you do qualify for a court-appointed attorney, and I'm going to put the order in today to have one appointed to represent you. Okay. Thank you, ma'am.
It's pretty bad we get trespassed from your own place.
Okay. Can you state your full name for me, ma'am? Okay, Ms. Spells.
I'm glad
Okay,
he
you
can
have
hear
one
them.
charge. That's a theft by taking charge, and it is a felony offense. It has a bond of $7,000. If you do bond out, you're not to return to the location at 11075 Terra Boulevard. It looks like that's the Home Depot location.
Oh, the
there,
Home
in
Depot.
the meantime, I have scheduled a preliminary hearing for you. That's going to be on June the 1st at 8:30 a.m. That hearing will take place on Zoom, just like this. And I have received your application for a court-appointed attorney. Do you want me to see if you qualify for one today?
Good question, Dub.
Can.
Okay.
It's a good.
Okay. I find that you do qualify for a court-appointed attorney, and I'll put the order in today to have one appointed to represent you. Okay. Thank you, ma'am.
Stealing from the Home Depot, a felony too at that. So that she must have been stealing some heavy duty stuff.
Okay. Good morning. Can you state your name for me, ma'am?
Denasia Stokes.
Miss
Okay, Miss
Stokes.
Stokes. Give me just a moment here.
These are Saturday morning arraignments, guys, in case you're just getting here.
Okay, Ms. Stokes, you have two charges. The first is a disorderly conduct charge that has a bond of $1,500. And the second charge is terroristic threats, misdemeanor, that has a bond of $4,000. So your total bond is $5,500. In the event that you bond out, the court's going to put a special condition on your bond that you're to stay away and have no contact with Mariama Guy and not to return to the location at 9662 Carolina Drive in Jonesboro. That is not your residence, correct?
No, sir.
Okay, good. All right. These are both misdemeanor offenses. Would you like me to schedule a preliminary hearing, or do you want to waive the right to a preliminary hearing?
Yes, sir. A preliminary hearing.
You want to schedule? Okay. All right. I'm going to schedule a preliminary hearing for May the 31st. And that'll take place at 8:30 in the morning on Zoom, just like this. And on the application for a court-appointed attorney, they've indicated you've refused. Are you going to hire your own attorney to represent you?
I don't know how they determine.
Okay. All right. I'll indicate
terroristic
that you're hiring your own
threats fall
attorney
under
here.
misdemeanor, which one's
All
fall
right.
under
Thank you very much, ma'am.
felony. Because I mean, we've heard both felony terroristic threats, misdemeanor terroristic threats. So again, not a lawyer. No idea what's going on.
Okay. Good morning. Can you state your name for me, ma'am?
Harold Walker.
Okay, Miss Walker. You have one charge that is a battery charge with a bond amount of $4,000. In the event that you bond out, you are to stay away and have no contact with the alleged victim, Shawanda Weish.
Shawanda.
And this is a misdemeanor offense. Would you like me to schedule a preliminary hearing, or do you want to waive the right to a preliminary hearing?
That is a good band name. You're right.
Schedule a preliminary hearing.
Okay. All right. Your preliminary hearing will be
These
on May
preliminary
the
hearings are just
31st
tying up
at
the court.
8:30 a.m. It'll take place on Zoom, just like this. And I have received an application for a court-appointed attorney. Do you want me to see if you qualify for one?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yeah. Hand it over. What you got?
Okay. I find that you do qualify for a court-appointed lawyer, and I'll put the order in today to have one appointed to represent you. Okay. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
She seemed like
Your
she was
Honor,
fine.
the last female we have is Miss Fleming, the one we sent you the
Okay.
email about.
Okay. Can we hang on to her till the end?
To the very after the males.
Is that is that okay with you guys? I want to try one more time to get a sign language interpreter.
Okay.
If she's right there, can you put her on the screen and let me see if she can hear me at all?
She deaf.
Okay, we'll bring her up.
Okay.
Is this the girl
Parker,
that
so they
Knox
didn't
was
set
trying to
up
get
to
with?
have a sign language interpreter?
Not to my knowledge. I called the AT&T interpreter line that we use on weekends, and one customer service person said that they could potentially have a sign language interpreter, but then they transferred me to a number that didn't work, and I have not been able to get the same folks back on the
Good
line.
to see you, Nut.
Again.
Okay, so if you can't do her right now, put her at the end, because I thought that they scheduled somebody, and I'm gonna check on it.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Let me see. Miss Fleming, can you hear me? You can hear me? Okay. Miss Fleming, let me just tell you a couple of things then. You have been charged with two offenses. There's a battery charge, and the bond for that is $3,500. There's a criminal trespass charge, and that bond amount is $3,000. Do you want to have an attorney appointed to represent you? You do? Okay. Do you have a job or do any kind of work?
No.
Okay. All right. I'm going to put that on your application here that you do not currently have a job, and I'm going to find that you do qualify for a court-appointed attorney, and I will put the order in to have one appointed to represent you. And I'm also going to schedule you for a preliminary hearing, and that'll be on May the 31st.
Really?
At 8:30
Yes,
a.m.
It's a young
And that'll
lady.
take place on Zoom, just like this. Also, there are special conditions on your bond. If you bond out of jail, you can't have contact with Joshua Hudson or go back to 3801 Anvil Block Road. If you need to pick up, because I know you live there, if you need to pick up items while you're out, you'll need to contact the sheriff's office within 10 days to schedule a time to do that. Okay.
1 second. She wants to say something.
Tell him, tell him, if it's to pick it up. I live in a home. I had somebody else to pick it up.
Can she have somebody else pick it up?
You've had someone else pick things up already?
I want somebody to pick it up. I live in a group home.
Okay, if you don't have to pick them up, then you don't have to contact the sheriff's office. But if you have to pick things up, you can contact the sheriff's office to schedule the time to do that. Okay.
And heard.
All right. So I'll put the order in to get you an attorney today, and then your preliminary hearing is May the 31st. Okay.
Maybe she
thank
thought they said interpreter.
Mary, if you can hear me, we don't need that interpreter.
Okay.
Okay. Thanks.
Maybe she confused an interpreter with a attorney. Maybe that was the mix-up. She really needed an attorney, not an interpreter. Well, that's a good shot of either this is the biggest man ever born, or we need to move the camera. One of the two. Group home. Makes sense.
Okay, give me just one moment, sir. I'll be with you.
I did too. I could understand her as good, if not better, than some of the people we already heard. Look at this giant of a man.
Okay, can you y'all may need to adjust the camera up a little bit. I can. That's okay. Okay. Can you state your full name for me?
There we go.
Rashad Battle.
Okay, Mr. Battle.
They should turn subtitles on.
Okay, Mr. Battle, you've been charged with 2 offenses. The first is criminal trespass. That has a bond of $2,500. The second charge is disorderly conduct. That has a bond of $1,500. If you bond out, there will be a special condition on your bond that you're not to return to Hartsfield-Jackson Airport unless you're in possession of a valid ticket of travel for that day. Okay, these are both misdemeanor offenses. Do you want me to schedule a preliminary hearing, or do you want to waive the right to a preliminary hearing?
Waive it.
Yeah, I would like a preliminary hearing, and I would also like to know, is there any way for me to get an OR bond on both of those?
Not today. Not today. Your total bond today with the both charges, the total comes to $4,000 for today. Now that could be amended down the road potentially.
Can
once your
I
attorney gets
get
involved? They may be able to work something out.
a preliminary
it's 4,000 plus the special condition not to return to the airport.
I'd like to shout out
Your
my
preliminary
homegirl,
hearing. I'm going to schedule for May
LC.
the 31st. At
Is there any way that I
8:30.
That's not a woman, it's a man, Ed.
No, sir. The preliminary hearing will be May the
Who hasn't
31st. Okay.
got rowdy at the airport?
And I have received the application for the court-appointed attorney.
That's what I
Do you want me to see if you qualify for a court-appointed lawyer today?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I find that you do qualify for a court-appointed attorney, and I'll put the order in today to have one appointed to represent you. Okay. Thank you, sir.
He was a little hard to understand. Oh, is it? Maybe that's why he was mad. The toilets were not clean. It's come burning in. This guy's full of energy already. He's way taller than this guy was.
Okay. Can you state your name for me, sir?
Oh, yes, Darius Ball.
Okay. Darius has got a hell of a voice on him. You got that.
Okay,
Darius
Mr. Ball,
Ball.
you have 6 different
Darius Ball.
charges. There's a
Darius.
speed restrictions charge that has a bond of $500. Obstruction or hindrance of a license display that has a bond of $500.
Yes,
Possession of
this is-
marijuana less than 1 ounce that has a bond of $1,500. There is a
Probably.
failure to obtain a new license within 30 days charge that has a bond of $1,000. Use or possession of a drug-related object. The bond for that is $1,000.
He's got a lot of little
And then
ones.
DUI, less safe charge, and the bond is $2,000 on that. So that brings your total bond for everything to $6,500 today.
1,500.
These are all misdemeanor offenses. Do you want me to schedule a preliminary hearing, or do you want to waive the right to a preliminary hearing?
Can I ask you a question?
Yes.
This is my first time being locked up, so I have no idea what that is.
Okay, the preliminary hearing is where the court determines whether there's enough evidence to continue to hold you until your trial. So if you bond out, the preliminary hearing is canceled automatically. If you waive the right to a preliminary hearing, then your file is transferred immediately then to state court. And so you would have a hearing scheduled in state court
Well,
right
April,
away rather than waiting for a preliminary hearing.
everyone but
through
the judge is
magistrate
real.
court. Okay.
I just
So, okay. Do you want me to schedule you for a preliminary hearing or do you want to waive the right?
I just waive the right.
Okay. All right. So I'll indicate here that you
First
waived the
smart
right,
person
and the
that's
deputies there will
asked
have a form for you to sign.
instead of
called a
acting like
waiver.
they know and didn't know.
Let's see. I have received an application for a court-appointed attorney. Give me just a moment here. Do you want me to review that today to see if you qualify?
Sure.
Okay.
April, you think we're just going to make up cases and
Okay.
have them on?
Based on your income, you
Think
don't
these people work for
qualify as
me?
indigent under state law, and so you don't qualify for a court-appointed attorney. If you want representation, you'll need to hire your own attorney to represent you.
He didn't have
Thank you
sex
very
till
much,
his
sir.
wedding night.
Okay, good morning. Can you state your name for me?
Junior Brooks.
Okay, Mr. Brooks.
Man, Brooks.
You have two charges. The first is aggravated assault. That is a bond amount of $15,000. The second charge is armed robbery. And this court is not does not have the authority to give you a bond for that charge today. So there's no bond
going
on the armed
nowhere.
robbery charge,
Nowhere.
but we can put 15,000 on the aggravated assault in case the other charge is dismissed for some reason.
April coming at me
But really,
this morning.
you're not eligible for a bond today with both of these charges on you. I have scheduled you for a preliminary hearing that's set for June the 1st at 8:30 a.m. That will take place on Zoom, just like this. And I have received your application for a court-appointed attorney. Do you want me to review that for you today? Okay.
I like that they don't put his information out there like we do with some of the other courtrooms.
Okay. Based on your income, you do not qualify as indigent in Georgia, and so you do not qualify for a court-appointed lawyer. If you want an attorney to represent you, you'll have to hire your own lawyer. Okay. Thank you very much, sir.
Wrong way.
Okay. Good morning. Can you state your name for me, sir?
You ain't going nowhere.
Name's Arthur Brown Jr.
Arthur Brown Jr.
All right, Mr. Brown, you have two
Your
charges.
dad.
The first is battery family violence. That's a misdemeanor offense. It has a bond of $5,000. The second charge is cruelty to children in the third degree. That has a bond of $3,000. So your total bond for both charges is $8,000 today. If you bond out, you are to stay away and have no contact with Tamarja Kendrick and James Kendrick, and not to return back to 5790 Riverdale Road, apartment 503. And I understand, is that your residence, sir?
No, sir, that was just where we were staying at the time. It's like a temporary residence.
Okay. Okay. All right. I'll go ahead and if you do have any personal items that you have there, you can contact the sheriff's office within 10 days of your release. But if you don't have any personal items, then it doesn't matter. But I'll go ahead and put that in case you do have some items you need to retrieve.
Oh my God.
And would you like me to schedule you for a preliminary hearing, or do you want to waive the right to a preliminary hearing?
I like that, Ed.
I still schedule it just in case I can't bond out.
Okay. All right. I'll schedule you for May the 31st at 8:30
Been in the
a.m.
system before. He knows what's
That'll
up.
take place on Zoom, just like this. And I have received your application for a court-appointed attorney. Do you want me to review that to see if you qualify? Okay. All right.
You go ahead and do your running. We'll see you back here.
Okay. Based on your
This will be
income,
April.
you do not qualify as indigent. And so you do not qualify for a court-appointed attorney. If
Yeah, that's
you would
Mark.
like an attorney to represent you, you'll need to hire one on your own. Okay.
Thank you, Judge.
All right. Thank you, sir.
Burning through
Morning,
these
Judge.
now. The
Good
mail
morning.
ones are
Can you
going
state your name
quicker.
for me?
Omar Cardoso.
Okay, Mr.
Heidi.
Cardoso.
Don't feel
You
bad.
have 4 charges
We've been trying to figure this out for a while.
against you. There is a theft by taking charge,
Leave them be, because that was a good one.
warrantless arrest affidavit does not
That made
provide
me
any
laugh.
information on that, and so I'm dismissing or denying that charge for today. There's a no insurance
It's all right.
charge that has a bond of
It's not the size of
$1,000.
the bus.
There's
It's
an
how you use
expired
it.
or no license plate charge that has a bond of $500, and then there's a no driver's license charge that has a bond of $500 as well. So your total bond is $2,000 for today. These are misdemeanor offenses. Would you like me to
Misdemeanor
schedule you for a preliminary
offenses.
hearing, or do you want to waive the right to a preliminary hearing?
So if I bond out, which one is best for me, Judge?
If you bond out, the preliminary hearing would be canceled automatically. So it's just up to you if you want me to schedule it or if you just want to waive the right.
I waive it.
Okay. All right. I'll indicate here that you've waived the right to a preliminary hearing, and they'll have a form there for you to sign. The deputies will give you in just a moment. I have received your application for a court-appointed attorney. Do you want me to see if you qualify?
Sure.
Yes, Judge.
Why not?
Okay.
Hit me with your best shot, Judge. He's going to say yes.
Okay.
and we're gonna-
I find that you do qualify for a court-appointed attorney, and I'll put the order in today to have one appointed to represent you. Okay, thank you very much, sir.
Here come the judge. Here come the judge.
Morning, sir.
Good morning. Give me just.
Oh my goodness, he's just a wee lad. He is very short. Yep. He's had a rough night. See, I disappear, he reappears.
Okay, can you state your name for me, sir?
Jonathan Chuckenbin.
Okay.
You say Chuckle Swick?
All right. You have been charged with 2 offenses. The first one is improper lane change that has a bond of $500. And then there's a DUI charge that's got a bond of $5,000. So your total bond is $5,500. Would you like me to schedule a preliminary hearing, or do you want to waive the right to a preliminary hearing?
I'll waive it, sir.
Okay. All right. I'll indicate here that you've waived the right, and the deputies there will have a form, a waiver form for you to sign.
I have way
And I
better
have
mouth
received
than
the
that guy
application
does.
for a court-appointed attorney. Do you want me to see if you qualify?
No, sir. My father's gonna hire one.
Okay. I'll indicate
Oh.
here that you're going to hire your own attorney.
Daddy's
All right. Thank you
got
very
it.
much, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Daddy's got him. Don't you dare worry. He didn't mean his father, he meant his daddy.
Okay. Can you state your name for me, sir?
The game.
Okay, Mr. Gaines. Give me just a moment.
Oh man, lady. But Ed, that was great. Gosh, I'll laugh about that for a while after I'm off.
Okay, Mr. Gaines, you have
Laugh.
been charged with 2 offenses. The first one is criminal damage in the 2nd degree, a felony offense that has a bond of $7,000. The second charge is criminal trespass, damage to property. That's a misdemeanor and has a bond of $3,000. So your total bond today is $10,000. There will also be special conditions on your bond that if you bond out, you are to stay away and have no contact with Dorica Pierce and not to return to the location at 608 Brookstone Circle. I have scheduled you for a preliminary hearing that'll take place on June the 1st at 8:30 a.m. That'll take place on Zoom, just like this. And I have received an application for a court-appointed lawyer. Do you want me to see if you qualify for one today? Okay. Okay, I find that you do qualify for a court-appointed attorney, And
Surprise,
I'll put the order in
surprise.
today to have one appointed to represent you. Okay, thank you very much, sir. Okay, good morning. Give me just a second.
Oh man. I have a way.
All right, can you
better
state your
look
name
on
for
this.
me, sir? All right, Mr. Haggerty.
Mr. Haggerty.
Okay, Mr. Haggerty, you have two offenses. There's an aggravated assault and an armed robbery charge. The armed robbery charge is one that this court does not have the authority to assign a bond.
Yeah,
So
he
you're
ain't gonna get
denied
one.
bond today on that charge.
That's a no-no.
On the aggravated assault charge, we can put a bond of 15,000, but because of the armed robbery, you were not eligible to bond out today. I have scheduled you for a preliminary hearing that'll take place on June the 1st at 8:30 a.m. On Zoom, just like this. And I have received your application for a court-appointed attorney. Do you want me to see if you qualify for one?
Yes.
Why not? Do it.
All right. I find that you do qualify for a court-appointed attorney, and I will put in the order today to have one appointed to represent you. All right. Thank you, sir. Good morning. Give me just a second.
There's so many Judge John Parker.
Okay, can you state your name for me?
I say,
All right, Mr. Haggerty, you also have two charges. There's an aggravated assault charge and an armed robbery charge. The armed robbery charge is one that this court does not have the authority.
Yeah, these
to
are all
assign a
people that aren't
bond.
getting
So you're
any
denied bond today.
any
on the armed robbery
whatsoever.
charge. Can
bond.
list a bond amount of 15,000 on the aggravated assault charge, but because you're denied bond on the armed robbery charge, you're not eligible for bond today. I have scheduled you for a preliminary hearing that will take place on June the 1st at 8:30 a.m. on Zoom, just like this. I have received your application for a court-appointed attorney. Do you want me to see if you qualify?
All right,
for
so
one?
this guy owns a law firm as well. It's Parker Law Firm.
Okay, based on your income, you do
He's a
not qualify
part-time
as indigent, and so
judge.
you don't qualify for a court-appointed attorney.
He's only
If you want an
part-time.
attorney to represent you in this case, you'll need to hire your own attorney. Okay.
all right.
Thank you very much. Hey, good morning. Can you state your name for me?
Desmond Harrington Wilkes.
All right, Mr. Harrington Wilkes. Okay, you've got three charges. The first is theft by receiving stolen property, motor vehicle. That's got a bond of $10,000 and is a felony charge. The second charge is concealing the ID of motor vehicle that has a bond of $500. And the third charge is driving on a suspended or revoked license that has a bond of $1,500.
Yes.
So your total bond for all the charges is $12,000 today. I have scheduled you for a preliminary hearing to take place on June the 1st at 8:30 a.m. That'll take place on Zoom, just like this. And I have received an application for a court-appointed attorney.
He's assigning
Do you want
all
me to see
these
if you
cases to
qualify for
himself.
one today. Okay.
Oh, this guy's getting paranoid.
Okay,
Somebody
I find that you do
shake
qualify
him.
for a court-appointed attorney, and I'll put in the order today to
It's a
have
big
one
word.
appointed to represent you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Okay, good morning. Can you state your name for me, sir?
Roy Ivory.
Okay, Mr. Ivory. You have two charges. There are two criminal trespass charges. The first one has a bond amount of $2,000, and on the second criminal trespass charge, we'll put a bond of $1,500. So that's going to bring your total bond to $3,500. In the event that you bond out, you do have special conditions on your bond that you are to stay away and have no
He's a
contact with
personal
Cynthia
injury lawyer.
McLean, and you're not to return to the premises at 11020 Naughty Pine Place in Hampton. Is that
Ooh,
your
so
residence, sir?
naughty.
Yes.
Okay. All right. If you need personal items that are there at the address while you're out on bond, within 10 days of your release, you need to contact the
sorry.
sheriff's office.
I don't know
They'll
why that did
schedule a
that.
time that you can go to the property without violating the bond conditions and retrieve those items. Would you like me to schedule a preliminary hearing for you, or do you want to waive the right to a preliminary hearing? Okay.
Waive.
Okay, I'll indicate here that you're waiving the right, and the deputies there will have a waiver form that you'll need to sign. And lastly, I have received an application for a court-appointed attorney.
And
Do
an
you want me to
application
see
for
if
a
you
Belk's
qualify for
credit
one
card.
today?
Which one would you like me to approve?
Okay. Okay, your application indicates you do have a job, but the income part is not filled out. How
Oh, I
much do
didn't
you
know
earn
that.
each month in your job?
$1,200.
About $1,200 a month. Okay. All right. And you do have children, is that right?
I would hate
they're
for
all
somebody who
adult
makes as
children?
much money as an attorney.
Okay, I
listen to
find
my
that you do
finances.
qualify for a court-appointed attorney, and I'm going to put in the order today to have one appointed to
Tough.
represent you. Okay,
Okay,
thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Jelly jar is always a good choice. I mean, if you're going to throw
Good
a
morning.
jar,
Can
make
you
it
state your
jelly.
name for me?
Warren Jackson.
All right. Okay, Mr. Jackson, you have two charges. There's an aggravated assault charge and an armed robbery charge. This court is not authorized to give a bond on an armed robbery charge, so you are denied bond for that today. I can list a bond on the aggravated assault charge for $15,000, but because of the armed robbery charge, you're not eligible to actually bond out today.
How many fathers?
I
do you
have
get?
scheduled you for a
James?
preliminary hearing that'll take place on June the 1st at 8:30 a.m. It'll take place on Zoom, just like this. And I have received your application for a court-appointed lawyer. Do you want me to see if you qualify for one?
Wow, TK, you're very late, by the way. I see TK trying to sneak in here.
Okay, I find that you do qualify for a court-appointed
Gotcha.
attorney.
Busted.
And I'll put the order in today to have one appointed to represent you. Okay, thank you very much, sir.
Armed robberies. A lot of folks trying to rob folks. You're
Hey,
just
good morning. Can you state
next
your
time we
name
see
for me?
Nancy, she'll have this hair color.
What's yours there?
Okay, Ms. Merritt.
Looking real sexy. Mr. Merritt.
All right, Mr. Merritt, you have one charge, that's theft by taking. It has a bond of $2,000.
Okay.
Would you like me to schedule a preliminary hearing, or do you want to waive the right to a preliminary hearing?
Looking sexy as hell.
So you just schedule a preliminary.
I do this. I do the same thing. Okay, so I'll schedule the preliminary hearing for May the 31st.
Hey, it is
at 8:30 a.m. That'll take place on Zoom, just like this. And I have received an application for a court-appointed attorney. Do you want me to see if you qualify for one today?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All
In the
right. I
back.
find
He'll be
that
in there.
you do qualify for a court-appointed attorney, and I'll put the order in today to have one appointed to represent you. Okay. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, Your Honor.
TK, I'm gonna let it slide today, just because. Hey, there you go. There's your white guy, everybody. Look how long he's been waiting.
Okay. Good morning. Can you state your name for me, sir?
Jeffrey Nix.
All right, Mr. Nix.
Preliminary is a hard word. Yeah, maybe. See what he
Okay,
did.
you have one charge. That's a criminal trespass charge. The bond amount on it is going to be $3,000. If you do bond out, you're not to return to the location at 1205 Stony Brook Drive in Forest Park. This is a misdemeanor offense. Do you want me to schedule a preliminary hearing, or do you want to waive the right to a preliminary hearing?
Yeah.
Schedule it. Okay. All right. I'm going to schedule you for a preliminary hearing on May the 31st at 8:30 a.m.
Got a feeling this guy's not getting out of
And I have received an application for a court-appointed attorney. Do you want me to see if you qualify?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. I find that you do qualify for a court-appointed attorney, so I'll put the order in today to have one appointed to represent you. Okay. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Don't make it a habit, TK.
Have a good, bud.
Okay. Thank you.
That was my man. Edwin was in the big house doing hard time.
All right, Mr. Singleton, Xavier Singleton, is that correct? Okay. All right. Give me just a second.
Damn trespassing old men. I swear.
All right, Mr. Singleton, you have one charge. That is theft by receiving stolen property, is a firearm. That is a felony offense that's got a bond amount of $7,000. I have scheduled you for a preliminary hearing to take place on June the 1st at 8:30 a.m. on Zoom, just like this. And I have received an application for a court-appointed attorney. Do you want me to review it to see if you qualify?
Why not?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, you, based on your income, you do not qualify as indigent, and so you don't qualify for a court-appointed attorney.
What?
If you would like an attorney to represent you, you'll need to hire one on your own, okay?
Kind of money's he making?
Okay.
Okay, thank you very much, sir.
Platinum. That's what that old man had, platinum hair.
Okay, can you state your name for me, sir?
His head
All right,
looks
Mr.
kinda
Udo, you have 4 charges. There's no
Udo.
tail lights. That has a bond of $500. Tinted window violation. It's also $500. Possession of marijuana less than 1 ounce. That has a bond of $1,500. And then use or possession of a drug-related object. That bond is $1,000. So if we add all of that up, it looks like it comes to $3,500. Would you like me to schedule a
At first, I
preliminary
was like,
hearing,
they
or do you
arrested
wanna
this
waive
guy
the
for no
right to
tail
preliminary
lights?
hearing?
I would like to waive it, sir.
You said waive?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. I'll indicate here that you're waiving the right to your preliminary hearing, and the deputies
need
will
more
give you a waiver
pleats
form to sign there.
in this outfit, please.
I have received an application for a court-appointed attorney. Do you want me to see if you qualify for one?
Slightly.
No, sir.
I'm sorry?
No, sir. No, sir.
Okay. Are you going to hire your own attorney?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I'll indicate
It's-
here that you're hiring your own lawyer.
These
Okay,
are just
thank you very much, sir.
arraignments on Saturday mornings. You don't get like a full-blown trial. Val, how are you?
Okay. You state your name for me, sir.
Man, we got a packed house.
Okay. Mr. Williams, you have 2 charges. There's a simple battery charge that has a bond of $2,500 and a criminal trespass charge that has a bond of $1,500. We do have special conditions on your bond here that if you bond out, you're to stay away and have no contact with Shakisha
starting-
Anderson.
I'm starting to think
and
maybe
not
it
to
was a
return.
chopped up charge.
I'm sorry.
Yes.
Shaquita, okay. Shaquita Anderson, and not to return to the premises at 836 Walden Landing Drive in Hampton. Is that your residence, sir?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Your Honor, hereby, I'm so glad I'm in front of you. I've been hiding, and I am looking for witness protection.
Okay.
And
Don't give me any details about your case, because the only things I can do today is assign an
Witness
attorney
protection.
to represent you and to give you bond conditions. Okay.
yeah, it's not about my case.
Okay. So I'm not the person that needs to hear that. Then talk to your attorney.
I need
when you get a
witness
lawyer.
protection, Your Honor.
But with this being your residence, you're not to return to this location while you're out on bond, but you probably have personal items at the address that you would need. So I'll put in your bond that once you're released from jail, you'll have 10 days that you can contact the sheriff's office. They'll give you a time to go to that address and get your items without violating your bond conditions. Okay. But you need to arrange that with the sheriff's office first when you get out. I'm sorry. Would you like me to schedule a preliminary hearing,
Not
or do
today
you want
so
to waive
far.
the right to a preliminary hearing?
That mean I stay in longer with the preliminary hearing?
No, if you bond out, the preliminary hearing would be canceled anyway, and you would receive your next court date in the mail. But if you want me to go ahead and just schedule you for a hearing, then that way it's on the calendar. In your attorney, if you get an attorney, they may want to waive it later. But it's up to you. I can, if you want to waive the right, that's fine. If you want me to schedule you for the preliminary hearing, I can do that.
I can still find out after scheduling the one, correct?
Okay. All right. So
Stick
let me
with
go ahead and schedule you for May the 31st. And that hearing will be at 8:30 a.m. and will take place on Zoom, just like this.
That girl is poison.
And I have received an application for a court-appointed lawyer. Do you want me to see if you qualify?
Poison.
Yes, sir.
Okay. I find that you do qualify for a court-appointed attorney, and I'm going to put the order in today to have one appointed to represent you. Okay. Thank you, sir.
Old Snitchy McGee. He's ready to drop the dime. I need witness protection. I've got all the evidence you're going to need to lock them all up, Judge.
I think that's everybody on it. That all you have today?
Yeah, that's all I've got. So, all right.
All right.
Thanks a lot. Y'all have a great day.
Parker, we doing 11 o'clock tomorrow?
What? I'm sorry, Mary, I didn't hear you there.
Are you gonna do 11 o'clock tomorrow?
Yeah, I'll do 11 o'clock again tomorrow.
Okay, I'll see you
11
tomorrow.
o'clock again
Okay,
tomorrow,
thank-
guys. 11 o'clock again tomorrow. You guys heard that. He wasn't too bright. Like, hey, Judge, look here. I know where the bodies are. I can bring them all down. I was Epstein's cellmate. I know everything. Just get me where I need to be. He was found dead just outside of the camera shot. Yeah, he's a big old snitch, right? You don't do that. Shit's chastity. Checkers. That's right. All right, guys. I appreciate everybody stopping by. We had a really good time. Nice turnout. I appreciate you guys so much. You just don't know the level of appreciation we have around here for you guys. If you would, please take a second, like the video. It's a high roller dog. We would appreciate it. We need your support.
$2 cash.
If you're watching this in the future, you can hit super thanks and support us just like if we were live. If we're on YouTube, if you're on Facebook, you can send stars when we're not even on live. And that, here comes the judge. Here comes the judge. Calm down. That, see that fish trying to even get on camera? What a prima donna. That way you can help us out. But if you're saying, Mikey, I'm broke as a joke, the likes, the shares, those all count too. They go a long way, baby. A long way. Look, somebody needs to. I mean, it's in disrepair for sure. TK, appreciate you guys. Glad you're all here. Hopefully we'll he's gonna blow the lid right off of it all of it. I'm gonna see one of those bodies float past here in a minute, right? Because they sleeps with the fishes. Guys, we will see you on Monday unless something pops off big. And I mean big tonight. I haven't seen Lisa in a while, man. I don't know. Hopefully live chase. You never know. All right, guys, I'm going to go and do some stuff around my house Saturday. Just got to get done. Can't count on anyone wants to do it. Oh well.
It's gonna happen. You just have to accept it.
Yeah, I don't want that.
Until next time. Nothing but love for you, baby. Underwater.